Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel Soul Space. My name is Alina, and today we are talking about manifestation through subconscious mind. I have a guest speaker today. His name is Timon. He's a spiritual coach and works with entrepreneurs. So today we'll discuss how you can manifest through subconscious mind, what's holding you back right now, and how you can master manifestation. Also, we'll dive deeper into the topic of subconscious mind, what it is, and how it works. So if this is something you're really interested in, let's dive in.
So what are we going to talk about today? Tell me.
We're going to talk about manifesting,
All right.
about creating our dream lives.
Beautiful. And why should people out there listen to us? And then subconscious mind now is so popular and so important.
I think we are in a time period where we are more curious to who we are. We are currently living in a world in a fast pace where it's just happening a lot. I think about the wars that are happening. There's so much out there that people are a bit confused, and from that period people are thinking like, hey, how do I envision the world? So I think the more we are in times that are challenging, the more curious we are becoming to ourselves and what kind of life we would like to live.
Yeah. I also feel there is like kind of a global awakening happening in the world.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly why people are more drawn to things that didn't think about before. Yeah, something much deeper than just that like physical body and that logical mind. So they want to dive deeper into who they truly are. They want to get to know themselves on every level and beyond that body.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, it's a great time to talk about this.
It's exciting.
Talk about this topic, especially because I believe it has affected your life a lot and mine as well. So we do have examples in our lives how it works. And it's a proof that it really works. And I also have a lot of people around me who's been practicing, let's say, what I preach, what I use, and they also see results in their life that are not like rational, logical, or whatever they used to do in their lives. I feel like before it worked well, but in this like new era kind of, something really changed, like shifted. A lot of things have shifted. And now the approach to, let's call it manifestation, right? We've been manifesting all the time, by the way. Yeah, it's not just something that you consciously do.
Mm-hmm.
But the approach to manifestation now is like everybody has to know about it. I believe this is kind of our mission, to spread more awareness about that and what manifestation is and what it is not. Because there are also a lot of misperceptions, misconceptions of manifestation, things that are not really true. But today we're going to talk about specifically manifestation through subconscious mind because, we do things subconsciously most of the time anyway.
Yeah, and I think, just like you mentioned, we're all being a bit awakened.
Mm-hmm.
And I think and I feel, and based on the theories about deep spirituality that I'm reading, like we are in a transition. Like if you look at people 1,000 years ago, their EQ was lower. So we're evolving as a species, and more that sensitive part, the part that we can't see but we can feel, is becoming more and more important. So I truly believe that we're in a transitioning where everyone is going to manifest more, and that's more how you create your career and you create your life. So it's quite new. So that's why a lot of people intrinsically know, like, hey, there's something coming up. But on the other hand, it's out of the norm. So that can be super confusing as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the problem is people think manifestation is just about positive things, about manifesting money, opportunities, like things like that. But they don't realize that manifestation is a process that is just always with us. Like we do live through manifestation. Manifestation is basically just about aligning your emotions, your feelings, your actions, and most importantly, your thoughts towards that one goal. And it all starts, as I believe, with thoughts. Our thoughts create our reality. And whatever you're thinking literally creates your reality. And the key here is to reprogram that thoughts, change that patterns, change that like whatever loop you're in.
Yeah.
And when people live in a reality they don't really like, they believe this is how reality is. Well, it's just like 1% of the reality that really exists. It's the reality they see through the filter of their brain, basically.
Yeah.
And if they just change that filter, it can be a different filter. It can be a filter that allows them to see more, like 360 degrees around them. It can be the filter that really narrows down their vision. And I don't know, people for some reason think that reality they see, they perceive through their eyes, this is the ultimate reality that exists. And this is why they're unable to manifest, because they don't see any other option, any other reality, because they've been taught, okay, whatever is in your life, this is reality. And they think they're realistic while they're actually pessimistic.
Yeah, and I think we are not used to make changes on a subconscious level, in the sense of sometimes you have friends and they will literally tell you, hey, you are changed, or this person has been changed, or it's changed. And most of the time it's more from a negative perception, like, yeah, he became a different kind of guy, he's changed.
Yeah.
But we are always evolving, we're always changing. So by not changing, you're stuck in the same patterns and your life will be really boring.
Yeah, we're taught that change is not natural, basically. We are taught that there are some changes that are natural, but let's say growing up, becoming like, I don't know, older, like things like that. But in general, change is not something that we perceive as natural. A lot of people are afraid of change because they think this is not natural. They have to stay in one place, they have to stay in one job, they have to do the same thing for the rest of their life. I mean, it's changing and shifting right now, but if you think, like, I don't know, the way maybe our parents or our grandparents used to live, and we still get that code, that imprint in our brain from them, like partly. This is exactly why I believe we're afraid of change, because oftentimes change is associated with something negative, scary, something that we're not ready for at all.
Yeah.
And that's why, and manifestation is about change, if you want like
True.
really something different.
Yeah.
And this is why we're not ready most of the time. People try manifestation, then okay, it doesn't work for me, because deep inside they're not ready, their nervous system is not ready. Basically, like they're subconsciously they're afraid of that change, even though if it's positive change, like receiving more money, getting a promotion, healthy relationship, deep inside they're not ready, and they're like, wow, why am I not manifesting? Why am I not, receiving that manifestation? So how would you define manifestation in your own words?
I think, just like you mentioned, we're always manifesting. So if you focus on the things that you don't want to experience, then everything that you see in the world, how you perceive things, it will come through a filter of not wanting to see it, so you will see it. So for example, when we would walk through the forest, we're seeing the same things. It's coming through a different filter. So I will experience a tree completely different than you. You will have different thoughts. I will have different emotions based on our memories, based on everything. So I see manifestations as something naturally that we can use into our advantage.
Yeah, and like we talked about it just before, behind the scenes. So the topic is manifestation using the subconscious mind power, right? What is subconscious mind? We talked about it that there is no really difference, like it doesn't exist in terms of it's all one, right? But if we try to define it, if we just try to define it for the sake of making it simple to understand and perceive for people, like what we're talking about here right now, what is subconscious mind? Why do we need to use our subconscious mind, understand what it is, and being aware of how it works in order to change our reality?
Yeah. So you can compare it with a computer. You have like your RAM memory, and it's the memory that you use to make decisions, that you can actively, rationally think But there's a different memory, and that's more the older part of our brain that's storing everything that happened to us, all the input. So the subconscious is more the bigger memory, like for example the 2 terabyte. You can only use like your RAM, your work memory. So there are a lot of things stored without you knowing because you're not using that part.
Yeah, and how we can really tap into the subconscious mind?
I think there are a lot of different ways how to tap into it. I think if we become more aware of the voice inside our head and what it's telling, and if we are more aware of our emotions, then naturally we become more aware of the beliefs that we have because it's mirroring it.
Yeah, I agree. Like for me, the tools I personally use, hypnosis, meditation, for me is the best, like the best tools to become aware of what I actually feel and think. I think we didn't talk. So about the brain waves, right? So meditation or hypnosis, they help you to slow down your brain waves. So transitioning from beta state, that is like active state when we do things like work and stuff, to alpha and theta, so we can be more relaxed. Basically for me it's about relaxation of the body, relaxation of the minds. When we slow down, we pause, we kind of step out of the current like reality, all the hustle and the buzz, and we can just connect with ourselves, to really feel what we want, to really tap into our emotions and feelings rather than avoiding them and running away from them and kind of trying to silence them with like different substances and stuff. So for me it's about like really slowing down and listening closely to what my body is trying to say me. And actually it's about the body a lot for me, because a lot of people want to be out of the body kind of experience, having these experiences, but it's more about actually being present in your body, being grounded in your body. This is when you really truly feel that you're alive, you're present, and what you're currently going through right now. Not like in the past and the future, things you want or things you kind of reflect on, but what is going on right now. Like it's the power of now, basically.
Literally, yeah. So you can meditate to enter it, but you can meditate in real life as well by trying to be as present as possible. And it sounds simple and it's sometimes quite complex because our brain is going to say going to think, hey, you just need to do this, or keep in mind tomorrow that's on your agenda. But if you're able to be more in the now, become aware of what's around you, just look at it and become aware of the sensations and emotions you're feeling, then you're already able to tap more in your subconscious. Because we are always able to enter it, but we are distracting ourselves so much that we're losing that power of using it.
How do you bring yourself back to reality?
There's one simple trick that I love using. Just ask yourself the question, what's here now when there's nothing to solve?
Beautiful.
So when you think of that question, you tell your monkey brain, your thoughts, hey, there's nothing to solve, because we're always trying to solve things. And then, what's here now when there's nothing to solve? So you look around and like, wow, okay, the weather's quite good. It's like the sky looks beautiful. Okay, wow, I feel quite happy. So then you help yourself to come back in the moment. You feel more, your body is become less tense, more relaxed, and from there you become aware of the thoughts you're having.
Like I feel it's so hard for many people. They're constantly in flight or fight mode. They're always trying to solve something, like basically 24/7, every second of their thoughts.
They are
just dedicated to solving. I mean, I believe it's determined by our instincts a lot, and like a lot of like info noise around and stuff. But how these people, like for example, I can't imagine these people that just live in this mode 24/7 can just all of a sudden, okay, what do I feel if there is nothing to solve? Like, I don't believe this is so simple. I don't believe it will work for them this way.
You can train it.
So you just need to kind of try it over and over again until you really can. experience that.
You don't have to, but I believe,
Yeah.
and I've experienced myself and my clients as well, that if you want to manifest, you need to become aware of the sensations and your emotions. Because manifesting is about deciding what you want to experience and feel it as if you're already having it. So the first part is easy. Decide what you want. 50K, easy part.
It's not that always easy, actually. Also about deciding what you really want and your vision, for example. Like, it's not always coming from your true self. That's what I believe. A lot of people, like, for example, my clients coming to me like, Alina, I don't even know what I want anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like, yeah, I have stuff, but it doesn't make me happy, so I don't know what to wish for because I don't know what will make me happy.
Okay.
So what are we doing in this case? Like, this is the first stage, and you said it's easy, but I don't believe it's easy for everyone. Like, for example, the first step is to decide what you want, and it has to be true to you.
Okay, so if you don't know what you want, what do you want? You want clarity.
Exactly. Yes.
So what you're going to manifest then is the clarity of knowing what you want.
That's great.
And by setting that intention, feeling how does having that clarity feels, then it's already coming. It's that simple. But our brain thinks like, no, it's hard. And your brain is trying to protect you by keeping the same person, because we all have the fear of dying. That's in our core, the deepest fear. So we're not changing because of that fear.
So this is beautiful what you said, because manifesting is not always about material things, like money, cars, whatever. It might be about your state of mind. It might be about clarity, inner peace. Yeah, you can want to manifest love, I don't know, like emotion, feeling, state. And this is when a lot of people also get it wrong, probably, when they want to just manifest material things.
Yeah.
Not attaching it to a feeling or emotion. That's what you said as well, right? You need to attach it to emotion and be able to fully feel it with like all your body, your mind, like being able to immerse yourself into this feeling and really it has to be a particular level of clarity how it makes you feel, because if you don't feel anything, imagining yourself having it, you will not receive it, you'll not get it, it's impossible.
And even with 50K, you're not manifesting 50K, you're manifesting the experience to have 50K. And the experience is always emotions. You want to feel that you're wealthy, you want to feel that you have the freedom to spend it.
I just came up with a question. For example, what if I want, I don't know, $1 million? And I sit down and visualize and I try to feel it, but I feel anxiety about it. Like, I feel anxious because maybe I have subconscious fear of having that much money. Maybe I'm afraid to lose it or to waste it or spend it in the wrong way, or somebody gonna kill me because of it. You know what I mean? Some people can manifest because they also have subconscious fear of receiving what they want. What do I do with this in this case? Like, okay, I feel anxious. I'm scared actually to have that much money, or to have that much success. Maybe I'm scared of success in general because it's attached to responsibility in my subconscious mind. What do I do next? Okay.
Finding your limiting beliefs. So what's creating the fear?
Agree.
So it could be the case you just mentioned, responsibility. Maybe you have a belief that you need to have a lot of responsibility, or that you're responsible for the value exchange. So someone's giving you 1 million and you subconsciously think, hey, I am responsible for creating that value, and that you're afraid of letting that person down. So that's why you don't want to have that responsibility. So by just keep asking the question, why? Okay, what's beneath the responsibility? What's beneath that? And just really take the time for it, because as soon as you realize what the limiting belief behind it is, it loses its power. So that's one. The second one is understanding that we're always afraid of change because of our core fear of dying. Know that it's there, and then you can do things to calm yourself. So what I do, for example, I practice charging bigger amounts to clients in the call. What I do is just like I play mind movie, like, okay, if you want to work with me, that's an investment of 25K. And then I feel my body, hey, how does it feel when I'm saying it? Could be the case that I feel a bit tension in my legs, or there's a part that feels uncomfortable or not feeling safe. I just slowly breathe to it, become super curious to that sensation, and then it's slowly fading. It's fading away, it's becoming less. Or what I can do is like, if it's super uncomfortable, I think about something that's really pleasant. So for me, it's sitting in my bath. That's like the most relaxing feeling that's there. And then I'm channeling between those feelings. And then what will happen is that 25K isn't generating the same sensation in my body. And I don't have the same thoughts around the 25K. So then in the call, when I say it, it feels natural and people perceive it like, oh, okay, I don't feel inauthentic behavior. I feel that he strongly believes in it. I trust that person.
This is beautiful. Yeah, I think you're talking about alignment, emotional alignment, also an energetic alignment to that what you want, and it's one of the key components of manifestation for me.
Yeah.
Like for me, I had to overcome a fear, not a fear, but I was not able to receive before. So I would want something, but deep inside I had a belief that I'm not worthy of receiving that. Yeah. And I believe a lot of people do have this fear, whether it's about money, love. So it's all connected to some traumas that we have. Anyway, like that power of allowing yourself to receive for me was life-changing. Yeah. Because it's also about regulating your nervous system, I believe. So when you really imagine yourself having that, aligning with that, and allowing yourself to receive, for me, I imagine it like a flow of energy, and I associate whatever I want with that flow. And if I see that the flow is not going through me, I don't allow it to flow through me. Yeah. At some point, it just stops, or it's just nearby, but I'm not in it. Or I'm just looking at it from the side, and I'm afraid to kind of, take some energy flow from this flow. So for me, it's more about visualization. And if I feel that way, I'm like, okay, this is exactly why I'm not getting what I want, because I'm scared of this flow. Actually, I'm not allowing it to pass through me for whatever reason. And this is when also I go deeper into my subconscious mind to realize what is that belief or like core memory, a core event that happened to me, why I feel not worthy of it. It might be a complicated process for some people to do it without a guide, because like a lot of thoughts or memories can come up. But overall, what I recommend is just to at least check, are you able visually and in your feelings to receive that, or you have a resistance? And I think it's something similar, but you feel it through your body, through the tension. And this is, when we talk about energetic alignment in a simple way, this is what it is. Yeah, there are like other elements to it, of course, but if we simplify that, I believe, it's about allowing yourself to receive and remove any resistance in your body, in your mind, in like your whole system, energy field.
Yeah, and what I experienced that it's tied to my self-worth as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So the more I feel worthy, the more I dare to ask, and the more I dare to receive and to hold.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you work with your self-worth?
I think it's just like gratitude. If you reflect each day, hey, I feel worthy about this, or this is something I feel super grateful for, this is something of value that I can create that expresses your worthiness more, and focus on it, even though there are small things, you start to feel more worthy, and then it's easier to receive.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. So we've talked about, vision. So let's kind of, not sum up yet, we're just like halfway there. So it's about the vision, then it's about energetic alignment to your manifestation. What was there?
The ability to really feel it.
Yeah, the feeling.
You need to feel it as if you're already living it. Yeah. So it needs to feel as if it's already there, it's already reality. And when you're able to feel that, you can let it go. Then it's coming your way. And then it's full trust.
Yeah, trust and let go. Yeah, that's probably the hardest part.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is when you're very impatient and you're like, oh my God, when is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? You keep thinking about it and you become obsessed about your manifestation. This is when you don't receive it as well. Like you're creating that residual potential kind of. You're like, there's too much attention and energy there, and the universe or whatever force trying to balance it. And this is when you don't receive it. You receive sometimes the opposite. A lot of times people come to me like, yeah, I tried to manifest that, but I manifested the opposite. For example, I tried to manifest love, but I broke up with my partner, for example.
Yeah.
Which might be just like part of a journey towards love. At the same time, you were so obsessed with it that universe tried to balance your intention. This is when you didn't receive what you wanted, you even received the opposite thing.
But how do you know it's the opposite? It could be the case that if you're receiving love and you feel the emotion behind it, that emotion is not matching the current relation you're having, and the universe is, okay, if you want that, let's go. So then you might break up with your current partner.
Yeah, you clear the space. I believe so too. But people, when they face it in reality, they don't understand the lesson yet sometimes. They feel like, oh, like I actually destroyed it all. But yeah, usually it's just a part of the process. You clear the space so you can receive something that is more aligned with your current self.
Yeah.
And I believe also, like another, for example, if you're talking about love, you need to be love. Basically, you need to be love. You need to understand you are love. You are abundance. You are all of the things that you want to attract. Unless you feel that really, you can't really attract true love. That's what I experienced in my life, for example.
And I think especially when you try to manifest a partner, what will happen is it's not that you fall in love with your partner, it's that you fall in love with the person you are with that partner. Because love, emotions are an inside job. That person is not generating it, it's just a permission slip. Because it feels aligned, because that person has everything you desire, you give yourself permission to feel the love towards them.
Yeah, I believe you love yourself through someone, basically. You do give them love as well. So, and they see how much you love yourself. It's about being like obsessed with yourself. It's not about that. It's about like, I have so much love inside of me that if I share with someone, I will receive, I don't know, twice, 3 times, 4 times more love. And it's about just that energy exchange. And people oftentimes, when they're lonely and trying to find a partner out of feeling lonely and out of that scarcity, they attract someone kind of wrong. So just give them that lesson that it's all about you. You need to come back to yourself. You need to generate all these feelings, all these emotions, abundance, love, whatever it is, in yourself first. And then you can receive it from the outside world.
I feel I get feedback from everything around me to understand if I'm closer to my manifestation. If I manifest a 25k deal and I know how it feels, then I can just follow that feeling. So, for example, when I experience something and I feel the opposite emotion from what I'm feeling, I know, okay, I'm further away, so what's inside of me that makes me feel like that? And then I start to feel that emotion. It can be that a bit of sadness is coming up. I just stay there, be curious how that sensation feels, and then it's coming up. Sometimes I just need to slightly cry and then it's off, it's out of my system, and then I feel much better, and then people are perceiving me different and I perceive them different. So when you understand that everything around us is just a reflection of our inner world, then you can use that as feedback to understand if you're taking the right steps.
Yeah, I do this too. I love that. Let's talk about aligned actions, because a lot of people, I believe, think that manifestation is just about sitting at your place, meditating, visualizing, feeling it. But there is more to it. I believe, this is the core of it. This is the fundament. You need to kind of feel it first. But then you need to go out there and take some actions that are aligned with your goal. And most of the time, these are intuitive actions. They're not very rational. Like some of them are, but most of the time it's something out of the box, because if you want to receive something new and different, you need to act differently most of the time. You need to rewire your mind that, okay, this is how I act now. These are my new habits. This is my new routine. This is my, I don't know, new people that I surround myself with. And this is how I treat myself, etc., etc., etc. And how do we listen to that guidance? Like, it's not always easy to understand what is intuitive and what is like rational and logical, what's coming from the subconscious mind, what's coming from, you know, self-awareness, what's coming from intuition. So it's like a really different, like it's a very difficult question for some people. Like, how do I feel like if they're not connected fully, for example? Like, I have these thoughts and these thoughts. How do I decide what should I do if I don't really understand what's intuition, what's not?
I think the easiest thing to do is when you manifest something, you need to become a different person.
So it's an identity shift, basically.
It's an identity shift. So if you're confused what you need to do, what kind of action, it's just like, okay, this is my old self, this is my new self. If you're confused, you're thinking, what would my old self do? And it's the same as you already did. What would my new self, the newer version of me do in this particular situation? And if you think about it, from those glasses on, you will instantly get an answer.
Yeah, true. But then it's often something scary to do as well.
It is scary.
Yeah, no, most of the time it's something that you've never ever done before, and it feels like a new level, very scary. And this is when a lot of people end up not doing that because it's scary.
Do you know what is even more scary?
Being stuck in your old self and your patterns, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's my biggest fear.
Same. Yeah, and if you put it this way for a person, like, hey, you have two options. Whether you're stuck in that loop or you do something new, something scary, but bam, then you're shifting to your new reality and your new version of yourself.
Yeah, I think what for me works if I feel my body, if the action that I'm thinking of doing, if I feel excitement in my body. And most time the actions that I know are best, I feel excitement and I feel it more in my belly or my legs coming up from here. And then I feel fear here. So the combination of fear, it's always the fear of dying, but I'm aware of it. I'm the one feeling that sensation. It's not that I'm afraid. It's a big difference. So I feel the fear and I feel excitement. That's for me the biggest green light I can receive.
This is so interesting that you started talking about the fear of dying, because all the clients I've lately had and all the sessions I've lately done were about the overcoming fear of dying. Not like you cannot really overcome it completely 100% because this is our instinct, right? We don't want to die. But 98% of the cases, we don't need it. 90% of the situations, we don't need it, and we still operate from it. Like if it's something unknown, something new. there is that 1% of like life when you actually need to, you know, tap into the fear and not do a stupid thing. But most of the time, it's not useless, but it's not essential. So a lot of, like, for me, I think I had the moment when I came to the point when I kind of faced it and I had to, I have to mentally embrace the death and feel it through my whole body. So I don't have to, like, until the end, I have to kind of accomplish this process. So I don't face it over and over again and, you know, being afraid of it and not doing something in my life that I really want to do. So that was like a very interesting turning point in my life when I realized, if I become nothingness, which I am, anyway, I'm nothing, I'm empty, I'm like everything and nothing at the same time. What if I just, I don't know, I was just laying on my bed imagining that I'm nothing, I don't exist. And it's not about your body and your soul, because I had this moment already when I realized I'm not my body. But it's a different thing. So what is beyond that? If I'm dead, what is beyond it? And I was like, it's a bliss. I don't feel scared. I don't feel any fear. I don't feel that I'm sad. I just feel bliss. I just feel, it's peace, it's calm. I'm blessed to be nothing, to be on the other side of that fear. Why am I so afraid of it then? If I know there is nothing scary there, I don't feel anything, it's just bliss. So when a lot of people have these experiences usually through psychedelics actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, I managed to do that. And when I realized that, I'm like, okay, why am I so afraid of it then? Like, come on. Yeah, of course, I don't say that now I'm, bulletproof, etc. But it's a mind shift.
Yeah.
A very essential mind shift that you need to go through.
I think the easiest one is to ask yourself the question, hey, am I really going to die? Or what's the worst thing that can happen? And go deep. Okay, the worst thing that can happen is that someone is rejecting me or saying like, hey, you're not worth the 25K. Okay. How bad is that? What's the fear behind that?
On a scale from 0 to 100, 0.
Yeah, and if you keep digging, then you understand like, wow, our ego, the voice inside our head that doesn't want to change, is just trying to do everything to not go there.
Yeah.
So asking those questions, understand your limiting belief, and understand that you're not your thoughts, you're the one listening to them. As soon as you realize, and we still use the words, people say, I'm afraid. No, they're not afraid, they're the one experiencing that sensation.
This is so interesting, yeah, this linguistic pattern, I'm afraid. We use it even if it's not necessary, like, oh, I'm afraid I can't make it tonight, like, and things like that. Why do we use I'm afraid so much,
Because we identify with our ego. We think we are this person and our thoughts and our feelings. So we are just confused who we are. So I have a tattoo here, it's called I'm the one experiencing. And for me it's a reminder every
you
time.
like, oh, I'm awake.
It's like, okay. I believed again that I was that person. I identified with that fear. I can let it go.
Yeah, and then you start perceiving everything as a game in a way that there's a game, there are rules, you're just a player here. Yeah. You can choose your, identity, you can choose your beliefs, you can choose your actions, you can choose your surroundings, your environment, you can choose everything. You're just a gamer here. And it makes it so much easier to perceive whatever you're going through. Because you're in charge anyway. Yeah. So you know the rules. Luckily, you know the rules. I mean, nobody knows them 100%, but more or less.
They're changing.
Yeah, we're getting there. So, I mean, if you're exploring the rules, that's already a good way to be aware of what's going on. That's an interesting. That's a good tattoo. It's
helpful.
Something that I should probably get something like this similar. So I'm like, oh yeah, right. It's just okay. I forgot. Like I fell asleep for a second or something.
And I daily, when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And I feel like a calmness coming over me. Like, wow, okay, it's just a game.
True. That was, I think, a sweet spot to wrap up.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for your time and insights.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you too.
I love this discussion.
It was a really nice format. So, to our viewers, if you liked this topic, if you really enjoyed that conversation, please comment below. What was your insight? What was something that you want to implement into your life today? And if you have any questions or maybe some suggestions for the next episodes, please also comment below. I would be really curious to know what you're thinking about. Also like the video and subscribe. And see you in the next video. Thank you.
Ciao.